Hello, welcome to the Howler Mouse channel. I have been collecting comics for 48 years and on YouTube for 15. And one of my favorite things to read uh, and reread is, of course, Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. And there's one issue in particular that I have to say has got to be the most forbidden love in comics, I think. If you know one that's more forbidden, put it in the comments section. And make sure that you have subscribed to the video, to the channel. Make sure that you have hit that bell so you know when I do my live shows or upload videos. I try to stay on target with Sundays, but I travel a bit. And then go ahead and, I think my analytics have told me there's 68% of you now who are watching my videos, and I appreciate it. But you're still not subscribed, so hop in there. Right? So when Grant Morrison was still relatively new to America, if you will, and the British invasion had been in full effect with Alan Moore, Brian Bolland, Neil Gaiman by this point, DC was right around the corner in the late 80s going into the 90s, making its way to Vertigo. The great imprint of the 90s, and in my mind is one of the greatest imprints of the 90s. But Grant Morrison came over and he done a little Animal Man, and then he continued with Animal Man, and then we had this other book that he got, the Doom Patrol, that was supposed to be very weird. I didn't really hop onto it until probably, I don't know, maybe two or 3 years after he'd already been on the book. It's a fantastic book. The TV show pulled quite a bit from this series, right? And the book just got better and better with the storylines. He actually made the Doom Patrol weird, like they were supposed to be. He had a little bit of drama. There was subtext going in there. There was Dadaism. Flex Metallo going a little bit meta here and there. The covers, as you can see, this is one of my favorite covers of all time. And like I said, he just took the Doom Patrol places. To me, made it iconic. Now, I have been a Doom Patrol fan since 1982, thanks to a certain Teen Titans story, right? But the story that I'm going to talk about, this was fantastic. This is what I refer to as a breather issue, a filler, if you will, is what I think other people talk about. That a filler issue, breather issue, is that issue of a series where they just got through with a very heavy story that's multi parts. And now we get a breather before we go on and start another story. And in this one, as you can see, that is Monsieur Mala, right? That is a member of the Brotherhood of Evil. Okay, not Evil Mutants. This is DC Brotherhood of Evil, and of course, our beret-wearing talking gorilla here is pushing a baby carriage. Simon Bisley was just nailing these covers, man. Simon Bisley quickly became one of mine. Now, this is 1990, right? And we open up with a brain. So what has happened in the last story? Robot Man, who exists as a brain inside of a metal body, thus Robot Man, heavily damaged his body, right? And now he's in they saved his brain, and this is so that they can turn around and repair the body that was actually built by Dr. Magnus, the guy who does the Metal Men, who created the Metal Men. But anyway, you have the Chief here. And what's really great, if you haven't read the series, once you get to the end and find out something about the Chief, you can go back to this and you can find out that he's actually pulling something right in front of your eyes. And you only catch it in a rereading. That's the long game of this. It's fantastic. But the Chief, who's a genius in the wheelchair, is just all saying this is shoddy work to begin with. He's put Cliff's brain in the jar so he can work on this body. And of course, it's sort of a Ghost in the Machine kind of feel. But he says, he actually likes it. He actually likes to be in the jar. It's very meditative for him, right? And, kind of wondering what Cliff sees while he's just in a brain with no sight, no hearing or anything, just in his own little world there, right? But as we can see, something's happened to where it's woke up. The Ghost in the Machine He has woke up. He has gotten up, and he goes, "I've come to talk to you. I'm your body." He's like, "You're what?" He plugs up a speaker so that Cliff can now hear him and talk to him. He's plugging up all the electronics here. So we have the body meeting the brain. That's not the forbidden love here. He goes, "You're what? Is this some kind of joke?" No joke. I've just developed a consciousness. It's a little embarrassing, and I'm not really sure how it happened. I guess it's my faulty responsometer. That's what makes the middleman work and have a personality, if you will. Anyway, I thought we should talk. Yeah, sure. He goes, "I don't want to lose my independence. So I'm thinking this mini diamond drill, for example. He's talking about like he's just going to go ahead and put a hole into the jar that's holding his brain." He goes, "Are you insane? That nutrient fluids will leak out. You're killing me. For God's sake, why are you doing this?" He's just telling him like, "Yeah, you'll soon find out." Now, we're going to be a bit more serious. We're really going to talk now that he's got his attention, as we have a little hole in the nutrient jar there, right? Meanwhile, Manjur Mala is pushing a baby carriage and he's talking to it. He's asking where his bubble gum is. And it's the brain. The brain, we have a theme going on here. The brain is an evil genius that exists in this container that has a skull that they updated. He actually made it to where Manjur Mala was able to talk, but now they say he's part of Ape City as time went on. Kind of revamped it, took it to the Flash there. Neither that or there, but we get his origin here where we see all of this. And these two have stuck through thick and thin, fighting the Titans and fighting the original Doom Patrol and forming the Brotherhood of Evil and fighting them. Anyway, he's on a quest here. He's on a quest here because they are going after the robot body that has just developed a consciousness, right? What a movie. Did anybody see Ford Fairlane back in the day? I watched it. I actually saw it in the theater. Priscilla Presley, Wayne Newton, Robert Englund of Nightmare on Elm Street, Lauren Holly, who would soon become a star, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so they break into the lab as we have the body talking to the brain, and he's got his gear and he's carrying the brain. So there's a fight. They fight the body. He goes, "I'm not Robot Man." All right. He's trying to explain that he now has independence. It doesn't matter. So the ape tells him, "I'll take on the body. Brain, you cover the brain, Cliff." So he throws the brain in his container that looks like a metal skull at Cliff. He's like, "What are you doing?" They hit each other. He falls over. He's like, "What the hell is going on? This is ridiculous." So we have the brain versus the brain as the body versus the body. They fight. Things happen. He beats the robot man with a conscious, the independent one. And he goes on to where he knows just enough to where he places the brain into Robot Man's body. They look at each other and they have an awkward moment. "Yes, well, now we must destroy Robot Man's brain and take our revenge on Mala." "Yes." "Let's stop pretending, Mala. All these years we worked together, lived together. I can't lie to you any longer. I love you, Mala." You don't know how long I've waited to hear those words, as we have a crying gorilla now. Okay, crying gorilla is a bit of a trope in comics, believe it or not. There used to be a thing where if you had a purple cover or a gorilla on the comics, on your cover, your comic would increase in sales, right? We must be ashamed of these feelings. Kiss me, Mala, as they look at one another. "But first, please, take that gum out of your mouth." "Oh, sorry." And without even looking, he places it on the container with Cliff's brain that's been dripping the nutrient fluid the whole time. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything. Oh, Mala, oh, master." And now we have the talking gorilla and the robot man kissing. And right when they got ready to kiss, there's an explosion. The beret goes flying. There's smoke. It lands on top of the nutrient bath. Someone? Anyone? Hello? Who's there? Does the body rule the mind, or does the mind rule the body? So that is how it ends. We now have a beret on top of the brain that has been saved by a stick of gum. So what caused the explosion? You're going to have to read the book all the way through if you want to know, because everything is set up. This was a brilliant issue. One of my favorite to read over and over. Fantastic for 1990. Um, and, I'll probably put that in one of my top 20 comic book stories of all time. Thanks for setting in. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share this. Let's let people know out there there's a channel where we still talk about comics and read our comics. All right, everybody. And with that, be excellent to each other.